Season 6 Autonomy Kickoff. Today with me, I got James Jordan helping me out at the helm. He's going to be sharing his experiences and getting the understanding of how we do this fabulous podcast. This is I think, third season we've done this. We started in season 3, I want to say, and it just gets better and better. Last year, the students just took over. They kicked me out of the control room and just were running and doing the podcast themselves. I loved it, but I was really excited to kick off this new season. Last night, we had our first lecture. If you're watching this, there's still time to get in. It was amazing. Lots of people showing their appreciation afterwards in the question and answers. And we're going to check out some of the highlights from last night. But man, first off, I want to say we've been busy. I know we kind of say this in between seasons, but this last season was really, really busy. I have a bunch of clips just pulled up, random stuff that we accomplished, that we got going. Some of the first things that I wanted to showcase is just how we use what we're using in autonomy to help get the offer and message out to those that need it. In this day and age, a lot of people need a lot of autonomy right now. And so our audience is growing and growing, and the people becoming aware of what value that we have inside of this course is getting out there. I remember like season 1, season 2, your friend, students inside of the course, their friends would be like, what's this autonomy thing? And they're like, it's like this and like this. And it's such a large thing to try and fit into a small conversation, that just over the years now, we've been able to refine our messaging, and especially for our outward marketing, so that people can hear it. I mean, what better than directly from Richard Grode himself, but to hear it and be able to see a webinar. So we had the pleasure of being on, Richard had the pleasure of being on the Greater Reset in between seasons. And we were able to use that footage because he does a fantastic rundown of what autonomy is. And so if you haven't seen this already, and if you're curious about autonomy, you can come check it out here at universityofreason.com/solutions. Here's a little snippet from it.
Super excited to introduce our next presenter. He's a really swell guy, a really bright guy, and he's also a great teacher who has a community of hundreds of like-minded people who he is personally working with in order to teach them how to step into their true excellence. I myself belong to the community. Derek Bros is a part of the community, along with Ramiro Romani, and it's like a 12, 13-week course. The dude can just go on and on, dropping all sorts of intellectual haymakers, but it's not just intellectual thought. More importantly, it's strategies and tips on how people can fulfill their true power in life, whatever that may be. And very profound, prolific guy. He also is part of an organization called AUTONOMY Unlimited, and him and his team have been extremely fundamental in the success of this event. So much behind the scenes stuff goes on, and it's been an absolute joy to work with AUTONOMY Unlimited. They are looking for clients as well, always. They do marketing, promotion, business, all sorts of great stuff. Autonomy, the 12-week course, is also one of the sponsors of this program. So we are super excited for that support. The support's just coming in all sorts of different ways. And I'm sure some more support and value is going to be dropped on our audience today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on Richard Grove, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so I got a presentation here for you guys today. Let me press this button and go over here. We're going to talk about solutions and relationships and community building. And I'm going to first ask the question, why don't we have these things in place? Why do we have these needs? We're going to get into some of the infrastructure and the how and the why. You're going to see all sorts of problems being pointed out alongside solutions. So what I'm going to speak to today is my own personal experience. It is by no means the totality of how to do everything. It's not like a my way or the highway. This is just the slice of life that I'm bringing to the table through my experience in relationship building and community building over the past 15 years. So I wanted to start tonight with or this afternoon with the big picture. Let's look at the big picture. It looks something
definitely worth a watch. I'm going to put the link down below. I think Richard really nailed it and was able to condense, what the problem is and how autonomy can be the solution. Lots more to show today, so I want to just keep moving forward. We've been busy with creating, capturing the students' experience and being able to then put that out into the community or out there in front of people so that they can hear from the students themselves. Because as we learn in the course, having a good solid testimonial is one of the best ways for people to give you a chance, right? If I'm out there with a bullhorn, hey, check out this business I created, this is so great. People are really, turned away from that direct yelling. But if you hear, someone else talking about something and really promoting it in a positive fashion, you take a listen.
Having the freedom to be in control of my time and my workload has always been really important to me. So I took autonomy and I got some high value skills that'll let me work anywhere at any time. I got the skills that'll let me overcome the problems and challenges that come up in my day-to-day life. And I overcame my fear and my self-doubt, so I'm not procrastinating anymore. You can take your scarcity mindset and switch it out for an abundance mindset at getautonomy.info. Check it out today.
That Sid Rock came to him with that project and said, hey man, do you think you can, tell people about your experience in autonomy? He recorded that in one take and just nailed it out of the park. If you can see all the elements that went into that, it's very eye-catching. There's text that's popping up and emphasizing what he's talking about. The media team in the last in-between seasons stepped up, learned these new skills on how to be able to utilize best practices to get people's attention. That was a 35-second video, and it was designed for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram to cut through all that noise on there, be able to stop you in your tracks, get you to lean forward, be curious, and deliver a quick little dose of information, and then you can click to learn more, and then go to the landing page and then start to fill in the gaps of what it is that you initially got curious about. We had multiple ads like that created, and the team is really starting to deliver high caliber testimonials. Here's one more I'll show you before we move on.
That was one take, Joshua?
Yeah, dude, you nailed it.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah, no cuts, nothing. So this is another ad that I created. Oh, this one doesn't have any audio, but imagine a bouncy song that would be in there. Again, something short. This is only 14 seconds, maybe for people with short attention spans on Instagram, where they, they're scrolling. How do you capture their attention enough to get 10 seconds of their attention? That 10 seconds on Facebook is like an eternity. So if you can get someone to stop and lean in, that's then you got something going for you. Let's see there. All right. One thing that's so cool about this podcast, I get to drop out and premiere stuff that we didn't have the ability to showcase yet. And at the end of last season, we went to Porkfest for our graduation party. We had 40, 50 students all voluntarily fly out to New Hampshire, and we got to meet each other in real life after spending a full season and many previous ones getting to know each other, and then not only meeting people that you get to consider community online, but we got to work side by side. Pork Fest is like a libertarian festival, and you don't have to ask permission to do like anything. And so there's no like permits needed. You're able to bring your wares, bring your services, put up a table, and just make offers to the general public. And Rich had a pretty a small idea. This is just a small idea. If we're going to be feeding ourselves at Pork Fest, why not, bring a kitchen up there so that we can feed, people walking by too. And hey, we can like sell some food while we're at it. And from that created the Autonomy Cafe, where we were able to get everybody to cooperate, pitch in. And we were able to feed hundreds of people of like really dank food, not just like food, but like organic food. We made deals with local meat providers there that were at the festival. They hooked us up with the supply chain of good grass-fed beef that we were able to make smash burgers with. But I'm just going to show you this little recap video. It's 8 minutes long. I haven't had a place to premiere this yet, so this is what we're doing. That's our van back there that we drove across country to New Hampshire, like literally shore to shore.
Well, technically, we use a two thermometer, but I've cooked so many over the years that it's good. These are also, because they're smash burgers, they cook really fast. They're really good to cook on a grill like this. And we get the cheese. Now this is the key right here. You got to make enough cheese to cover the burger. You gotta get a little cheese off the sides because that's gonna be all crunchy for him. And then we're gonna put this bacon on top, like this. Right?
Yeah.
Now you would use tongs probably.
You doing a clinic over here?
Yeah, smash burgers. Boiling bacon, no problem. Now we put a little sprinkle of cheese on top for looks.
Yeah.
Right? Just like that. And then we take the water, we spray around it, not on it, not on it. That's going to seal the deal right there. Now
I digress. So the Great Reset, there's a conspiracy to create a totalitarian government, and the Great Reset essentially is that in a new veneer, in fancier, brighter clothing. But the big difference is now there's the technology available to create this panopticon surveillance society.
But what happened, all of a sudden I'm walking around and there's guys wearing this full photo shirt that I'm sure Don will have in the archive of wanted for crimes against the empire, undermining of imperial policy, support of rebel groups and grandfathering of the alliance. Obi-Wan Hancock, reward 9 quadrillion whatever Ripple, you know, the official crypto of the empire. And then on the back it has, you know, Stop Wars logo, Freedom's Phoenix, and Pirates Without Borders, and Autonomy, and Roberts, and you know, a lot of the groups in Autonomy, you know,
Jordan Page,
Grand Theft World. There's a bunch of stuff on there, and I'm going, you know, it's flattering and it's cool, but the biggest amp cool is that it came from Richard. The fact that you did this was so humbling, and it's so cool.
This was really
the first
fun.
thing, there's a control panel with the love button. These are Nook computers. They're like, you know, not free. I mean, this was like $700 for this whole thing.
I mean, those Nooks are nice though, aren't they?
Well, they're working so far, but that's one thing we need to work on. So we have our OBS for the video live streaming, the recording computer, and then our communication Zoom Skype for guests. Wow. And then it goes into, you know, the Nest. And then we have, you know, this is the main computer. When we're doing the show, we just pull this stuff out, you know, and it goes into my, that's the chair that I use. And then we have green screens and rails and all this kind of stuff, but we're changing the show to not be live because it's being recorded and then put out, and we can do live streaming. We have 400 amp hours at 12 volt, 4 nickel iron phosphate batteries, Battleborns that are underneath there, a 7 kilowatt generator, 800 watts of solar up top, and 480 that I can deploy from underneath. Oh, so we are made this to where we are off grid. We
Badass bus. I still got the full tour of that thing I'll release sometime. So you can see everybody's posted up,
wanting to get into gardening and regenerative agriculture and living on a property when you didn't really have much experience with that beforehand.
And Richard and John Bush, they put together a summit and had speakers on all day long. Tom Woods came by, and that was very valuable information. There's the boys behind Pirate Coin.
You also with the
Now you've managed to develop a life for yourself where your career is your activism and your activism is your career. And I think that's a very beautiful thing. How important do you think it is for folks for their income, for their line of work to align with their purpose and their values?
Well, let's face it, I don't think you can always do that. I think you and I are very lucky, but I don't think it's always doable. A lot of times people say follow your passion. Okay, but sometimes if you follow something that makes you a lot of money, that becomes your passion. You get damn passionate about it real fast, you know? So it doesn't always work out in the storybook way. But in my life, for example, I couldn't have planned my life this way. When I was in high school, I didn't say, well, someday I'm going to be a podcaster, because I'm so old, there weren't podcasts at that time. Or that I'm also going to have online courses and things like that. How could I have known that? It's just that I lived the way I wanted to live. I created those things because I felt compelled to create them. And then it so happened I could make a living doing it. But if some people say, I want to be just like you, I don't know how I got here. Genuinely, I don't know how I did it.
This is something different. I just want to connect with you all because it's been amazing getting to know each and every one of you online, right? And now here we are IRL. So I will tell some jokes at some point, so don't stress.
Jordan Page. Richard has a full version of him playing this Pink Floyd song. It was incredible. And I'll just say, like, after DJing that you saw previously, I was like tired and like packed up all my stuff and finally was heading towards the van to go to sleep. And I heard Jordan Page's voice like waft over the festival and hit my ears. And I was like, what is that sweet noise? And I literally just started like walking through camps and found the whole crew here at Jordan Page's like impromptu unplugged set where he played for like 5 hours. It was incredible. after a pandemic, getting around a community like that was, a once in a lifetime experience after a pandemic. Our kids got to hang out and meet each other for the first time in real life. Very special occasion, and one that I hope we start an annual event doing, because it's a perfect environment for autonomy, because we can all come there, bring what we want to offer, and take all the skills that we've learned in autonomy and put ourselves out there. Did anybody on the call make it over to Pork Fest and want to share their experience? Okay, next time.
Well,
Danny.
I'll jump in real quick, Joshua, and I'll say that I missed out on Pork Fest this year, but just based on what I've seen from the videos and the pictures and the stories that I've heard everybody tell since they came back, there's no way I'm going to miss it next summer. So I look forward to seeing as many autonomy folks there as possible.
Awesome. We already secured the sites, and so we have like a full block all dedicated to autonomy next year.
Nice.
What
nice.
up, Danny?
I'll look y'all up.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I got to meet you at Pork Fest, didn't I?
Yes, you did. And so I was very happy to go. And just for anybody in season 6, just to kind of give you a perspective on this is this is the kind of people that I want to be around and get to know, meet in person. I've been in other groups to where, you don't really have that kind of connection with people. So it didn't seem odd to me to just fly out there, get in the car and go up to Pork Fest to meet everybody. So it was a great experience. And I look forward to next year.
Awesome. Yeah, maybe you can bring some hydroponics and show people.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's something in development right now. So I am developing some mobile systems. A lot of this is not leaving the greenhouse. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and so there's a conceptual that we're working on. It would actually be a school bus that's converted. I'm still awaiting a potential grant to go through. And so if it does, then I can proceed with that project.
That would be awesome to see there.
Oh yeah, just we put a lot of work into that bus already, so I'd like to see it completed. So
yeah, get some eyes on it.
Oh yeah.
Well, great, Danny. Yeah, you excited about the new season?
Oh yeah, no, want to be more involved. So I know I kind of put it out there. Love to host a do it live somewhere down the line in the season. I know tag myself in and kind of learn that aspect of actually hosting the do it live and gain some experience from that.
Fantastic. Yeah, everybody on the call, you want to take a crack at this, shoot me a DM and I'll start putting the schedule together. There's only 10 opportunities where I'm going to be doing the first one. I'll be doing the last one, but there's 10 slots available. So first one's to hit me up. James is doing next week and we'll figure out the rest.
Yeah. Cool. And Joshua, I see Adam turned his video on, and I believe Adam? He was at Pork Fest. Did you want to jump in here, Adam?
Yes, I was there. I don't remember most of it. I was no, just joking. No, it was great. It was awesome. I think I remember butchering an ostrich, or it was a turkey or an ostrich. It was rather big. It was for Delaney. Delaney was on the smoker, and he was killing it. He was killing it with the barbecue, man. And at some point, he had a ostrich he was going to smoke. Thing was huge. No, it was a great time. First time we went there, I took my whole family. Got to meet everybody, which was awesome because we have this relationship over the sort of interwebs. And it's really nice to actually get to meet people in person. And I didn't know what to expect. It was, I've heard about it for a long time, but it was people just like Josh was saying, setting up your shop, selling your wares, nobody really harassing you or hassling you for your proper licensing. And, people had some really cool stuff they were offering, handmade crafts. They had all sorts of services being offered there. You've seen a lot of personalities that you would recognize, like Tom Woods, for example. I almost sold him pickles. I didn't know what was. I couldn't close the deal though because I didn't know what was actually in it. He's like, "What's in those pickles?" I was like, cucumbers, garlic. I was just looking at the jar and I was like, I had no idea. I seen Tom walking up. I knew who he was. I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, we'd like to buy those, potentially buy some of those pickles. He's like, what's in those? I was like, I was looking at the jar, trying to figure it out. The kids, one of the really good highlights was the kids. The kids have the opportunity you can just let them go and not worry. I mean, for the most part, obviously you got to use a little discretion with the younger kids because they need guidance. But you know what I'm saying. But the older kids, like my son, he's 12, and he basically was gone the whole time.
Playing zombie versus human.
I think he's still there. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's coming back or what. I think he liked it there so much. He's just like, yo, I'll come home when I want. I'm like, all right, dude. That's what I'm saying. No masters, no slaves, bro.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, man.
Well, yeah. So next year it's going to be even better. Now that we know what we're doing, we'll have the kitchen back. We'll have a dedicated staff, and it's going to be much better. So I got a few more things to showcase, and then we'll open this up to a roundtable. And I would love to hear from everybody what you've been up to in between season 5 and season 6. But beforehand, I just got these things pulled up. So across the street from AUTONOMY is AUTONOMY Unlimited, a digital marketing and consulting business that is run by students, graduates, and have shown their proficiency in their skills. We've been super busy helping out clients in these last few months, and I just want to showcase some projects of that. One of them is a course that we're helping build by Richard Smith, not Richard Grove, Richard Smith, who is just releasing his investment course, and this is a promo for it.
Trust me, when you see this, it's going to blow your mind. It'll change the way you think about investing forever. For the amateur investor, this is almost never discussed. This is the magic of investing, that the amateur investor has literally no idea about it.
What's great about that was we got to test out the course in a beta that the client did inside of AUTONOMY. So everybody, what was that, like 2 months ago? Those that were interested in creating a portfolio for themselves for investments was able to participate in that course, provide feedback. They figured out, they got a test run done. We got testimonials from that. And now we're launching the course live here in 2 weeks is when it's going to be starting. There's going to be a webinar next week that we're going to be helping out with. But huge project. I'm running ads right now, grabbing leads, and that's going to be a huge success when it kicks off in 2 weeks. Next up, We have from our social media team in Autonomy Unlimited, Jessica put together a trailer for another client of ours who is a romance author. I've been helping this lady out for 4 or 5 years now, and she's on her, I think this is her 8th book, and we've been building test trailers for her books. And this one's pretty steamy, let me tell you.
Are you the one that poses for the covers, Joshua?
I wish I would not be working this job. That's going live in like a week. There's pre-orders available. I know you're already searching for it. But it is the romance industry is a very cutthroat industry, and so to help our author stand out, building this test trailer really puts her ahead of the pack, because you can easily digest, understand what is the book is about, using the videos and the imagery and then the text storyline. I think is a great way to be able to quickly cut away from the pack and be seen by a lot of people. So running a ton of ads right now. Just started ads on that trailer last week. All right, something else that I'm excited about. Let me show you this. We are, oh man, a couple things I want to show you. So stick with Autonomy Unlimited. So this is something hot off the press. So this just got finalized yesterday. I don't even think Richard's seen it yet. So this is the new Autonomy Unlimited lead magnet. It has been in production for, I want to say, a year. I think we came up with this idea. So Autonomy Unlimited is where ethical marketing meets integrity is our tagline. And so we wanted a lead magnet to showcase if we're ethical marketing, what is unethical marketing? Because I think that's the common thought that people think about when they hear about advertising or they're being advertised to, right? Is to like back up and like distrust. And that's the opposite of what we're taught in autonomy. And so we now have this PDF that's going to be available here probably next week. This was designed by season 5 graduate Carrie, and I think it came out really sharp. It's easy for the eye to read and know where to go next to digest this information. This was just one huge block of text, read our free download, and it was just 2 pages of dense paragraphs. You'd take one look at it and toss it away, but this really makes it easy for you to keep going and digesting the one after this. So this is going to be Autonomy Unlimited's first lead magnet for a marketing company. I'm really excited to finally have this tool in place to where people checking out our site, they don't have to invest in a discovery call with us to see if they're a good fit for the business as their first encounter with us. They now can download this and see the value of like, oh yeah, wow, okay, these guys know what they're talking about. I see these techniques and manipulation out in the market, and obviously this is not what these guys are about. So we're about ready to hit go on this thing, and thanks everybody for having a part in it. I know Kara had a huge part in getting all the components together. Mike Nimitz had a huge influence in getting this thing started with writing a good bulk of it. And then the other copywriters all helped out with making it as tight as possible. And then the design, as I said, was done by Carrie. So thank you all for your contributions. That, like, everybody should be very proud. Like I said, this was a 10-month project, and it was took a lot of momentum to get this thing done. Mike, what do you have to say about it?
Yeah, I'm so proud of this thing, because I do feel like this is, and if you think there's just 5, there's a whole bunch more, you know, so there's a lot about this niche that I think really speaks to what autonomy is about. And I'm just so excited to get this out in front of people and start educating people about the difference, because I think we stand alone when it comes to this particular thing, really. And I think it's really going to distinguish us. It's going to be great.
Thanks, Mike. You had a pivotal role in, you wrote the bulk of it to get it going. And like, without that, getting that big boulder starting to move, we'd still not have it, because we got a lot of other things. We got lots of clients to be servicing. So to put attention into our own business and lead magnets is something that we have to put extra effort in order to make sure that we got leads and new clients coming in. So thanks, Mike.
Yeah, well, I just say that this was a team effort, and certainly I contributed to it. But what you're seeing here is definitely beyond my expectations of what I thought could be. Just, it was a combination of people that put this thing together, and it's truly more than I ever thought it could be.
Awesome. Well, yeah, this next week is when I'll get it up on the website and everybody can download it. And yeah, I'm very proud of it too. All right, so let's see. I'm going to save this for another time. One more thing I wanted to showcase. This is a big deal. All right, let this be the right. All right. We are ready to announce the Autonomy Agora Marketplace. This is another huge project that, started off as an idea, and all the components are finally coming into place now. So within Autonomy, within the University of Reason, is the course Autonomy. The University of Reason is a huge warehouse of information, courses, and content that just keeps getting added to each season, because students get good ideas. They want to put together presentations. They want to start building courses. We provide them a framework and structure and support and beta audiences in order to do that. And so each season, the University of Reason just continues to swell with all this great information and content. And now we have the Autonomy Agora Marketplace that is going to be the public access of courses that we get to help out in creating. So as you can see, we have Michael Badnarik's course, How to Know and Defend Your Rights, and the Autonomy Critical Thinking Trifecta course. This was put on by Richard Grove and, oh man.
Was that Tony's course? Tony Myers?
Nope.
Different one?
Paul Verge. Thanks. Paul Verge and Richard Grove put this Critical Thinking Trifecta course on. It's a short introduction into the trivia method, but extremely valuable. This is Derek Bro's Holistic Self-Assessment course. It made a huge impact on my life. And Derek Bros came into the community and gave, I want to say like eight or nine lectures describing all the steps of a holistic self-assessment. 7 Steps to Escape the Rat Race. This is a Wealth Battle production that is still being put together, but will be available soon. And I think that's going to be a freebie. And then something I'm extremely proud of, the Complete Guide to Forming Communities with Stefan Verstappen. This is a course that we just got done producing with the author. He was going to just create a book. And instead of a book, we convinced him to turn it into a course where he goes through chapter by chapter and breaks each thing down into probably like 45-minute to an hour long discussion on everything you need to form a community. And this information is so extremely valuable at this time that people are ready to take action. And so this is going to be launching this next week. It's completed. There's 49 lessons. He's also giving his book away for free inside of this course. It's going to be a 400-page manual that you get as a download along with the course that expands upon each section on how to create a mutual aid, how to start groups, and as well as bylaws and case studies. And as a matter of fact, I got a new promo video that hasn't even been released yet that I get to showcase right here. So let's check this out. This is why we do it live.
Hello, my name is Stefan Verstappen. I'm a writer, researcher, and an old-time truth warrior. I will be teaching one of the most crucial online courses for our time, one that could save your life and possibly even our civilization. One of my areas of expertise is history, and specifically historical cycles. Several years ago, I took what I had learned and wrote the essay, Historical Cycles, Are We Doomed to Repeat the Past?, which was published in Gerald Salente's The Trends Journal. According to this theory, and judging the signs of our time, it is undeniable that Western civilization, as we know it, will collapse into chaos. Your chances of surviving these events on your own are slim. But hope is certainly not lost. The solutions are there. You just need to know how to apply them. I've been a survivalist for more than 50 years, and I've been searching for a solution and a way to survive what's coming. I again turned to the study of history to learn what previous generations had done to survive the collapse of their civilizations. The answer is one we have all heard before, and is not unique to my way of thinking. We need to form communities. Sounds simple, and it is, but also near impossible. You see, public education, government propaganda, mainstream and social media have all but destroyed our history, culture, and traditions, and any sense of community we had. We have been divided against each other by dozens of manufactured disputes and ideologies. Most people have never experienced being a part of a real community, nor could they ever hope to form a community on their own. This was done on purpose because the powers that be know the only obstacle to their plan of bringing down our society is if people united and formed parallel societies. And so I began writing the book, The Complete Guide to Forming Communities, to give people the ideas and tools they need to start forming their own communities, which is the basis for my online course. The course begins with a quick overview of historical cycles and what people in the past did to survive the age of chaos. I will tell you what they tried, what worked, and what failed. Then we go into the groundwork needed before we can even begin, such as how to use imagery, mythology, and archetypes to inspire people to become a part of the community, how to write a charter and mission statement, organizational structure and bylaws, and what legal forms we can take. I will then provide you with samples of the organizations you can form under 3 general categories. The first is financial communities, which will provide the assistance we will need when hyperinflation and currency collapse ravage our society. Here we cover a range of organizations we can form, from buying groups to lending circles. The next category is home and health, to assist us when medicine and healthcare are no longer available. We cover things like how to form homeschooling and food co-ops, how to source inexpensive health insurance, and how to fund our own medical clinics. Finally, I will discuss how to form a decentralized, autonomous, and self-reliant survivalist community that will provide members with everything they need to survive the collapse, including food, medical care, communications, and self-defense forces. We are at a turning point in history where the outcome is either freedom, prosperity, and happiness, or a dark age of slavery, misery, and death. We need to work together to overcome what can only be described as the forces of evil incarnate. Join me in my online course, link in the description below, and you will be among the first to download a free copy of my soon-to-be-released book with nearly 400 pages of detailed guides, case studies, and advice for forming your community. Each of us has a choice to make: to continue down the dark road we find ourselves on now, or to work together to not just survive, but to thrive in freedom and prosperity.
Very excited about that. I just literally hit my desk this morning. He did a good job putting that promo together. So how, like behind the scenes, he came up with that script. He tossed it over to the copywriters at AUTONOMY Unlimited. The description he had down pretty well, but then our team helped out with the call to action at the end. So it wasn't complete doom and gloom, but really hopeful and uplifting message.
Yeah, that was extremely powerful. And that was the first time I had seen it, and it had me wanting to go looking for a link to sign up for the course. But I had a question for you, Joshua. Not just for the people who are on the live stream, but for those who may be watching or listening to this down the line. What would you say are the advantages between having a course to teach these types of ideas and concepts versus traditional media vehicles like books or documentaries or those sorts of things?
Well, honestly, that's how I was able to pitch it with Stefan in the first place, is because I mean, in this day and age, asking somebody to read a 400-page book, you're going to get like a 90% drop off, in my opinion. This is just not with how fast we consume media now. Like, the days of reading long books, unfortunately, are few and far between, unless it really captures your attention first, right? Unless you're really committed to reading it. But to offhanded be asked to read a 400-page book to understand what you're trying to learn is a tall ask. So this is where the course really comes into play, because there's we have our landing page, we have that promo video to pique curiosity, so that you take that next step, and you're not just hitting like, here, read this book and figure it out. It really walks you into purchasing the course, and then that course really just walks you through the information, where you just sit back, you listen to Stefan share personal experiences, share unique views, and it's not just the book that's being displayed or communicating, but a visual along with resources and supplemental videos that all contribute to understanding what it is he's talking about, where a book like really can't accomplish that. Even if it was a PDF with live links in it where you could click on it and go see resources, to have everything just nice and tight, organized for you like this, I think is just the most powerful way to deliver information. And then, like I said, you also get his book along with it. And so I'm excited to dive into that 400-page book now. There's a ton of resources that come along inside of each section of the course, but and I've already read through all that stuff, and now I'm primed and dedicated to read that 400-page book, to like go all the way to extract all that information that he has available in this course. Whereas, I have a 3-year-old, and to like ask me to read a book right now is at the bottom of my ability. And so I can only imagine, families in the same situation, that, I can listen to a course while I'm doing chores. I can digest information. And then one more powerful thing that we have set up for this is the price point that we put together for this is let's see if I can drop this. It's nothing to shake a stick at, but it starts the process of, oh man, I don't have the landing page. It starts the process of it's going to be $3.99 to purchase this course. That's enough to make you stop and think, like, oh, okay, $400, like that's a substantial amount. I'm not going to just like toss $400 and then like forget about this type of thing. It's an investment, but we're promoting group buys. And so if that seems like a lot of money, go find 3 of your friends, all pitch in $100, invest into this course, and then watch it together, which starts the whole structure of mutual aid groups and finding other like-minded people to create a community, like the kernel of a community. So I think
that's a little bit of genius.
That's a solid price point to make you stop, think, and then understand the value that's in this course, because you look outside, you look at the news, this information really is priceless.
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually really surprised that it's only $400. I was expecting it to be a lot more than that.
I'm going to tell him you said that. Well, awesome. So yeah, we're very excited about the Autonomy Agora Marketplace. We're excited to launch Stefan Verstappen's course this next week. Keep an eye out for that. We'll be promoting this in the autonomy community, and there's affiliate opportunities. So hit me up if you want to jump on that, because this is so important in the times right now. I'm putting this to practice in my own life. This Monday, I have a potluck meet and greet for the community that I've been fostering here locally. We have about 100 people of open-mindedness, face-friendly individuals in my local environment that we're going to be meeting for the first time in person, and just do a casual meet and greet. But then from there, I'm going to introduce this course, and we're going to put this into practice for myself, and we're going to do viewings each week to learn the structure of the mutual aid groups, and then implement this into this local community that I have. So I'm very committed and excited to put these structures into place so that I can insulate my family. And I'm up here in Washington State, not the most freedom-friendly environment, but those parallel communities that he touched upon, I believe is the way out of this mess, because no matter where you run, you're still going to be kind of outnumbered by people just following orders. But we create these parallel systems, we can take care of our own needs, and we can ride the wave. Now I want to open this up to everybody that's on the call with me. I want to hear what you've been up to in between seasons. We just started season 6. Last night was our first lecture. And over the last 3 months, have you been just kicking back and, taking what autonomy's taught you and just watching Netflix, or have you been busy too?
Well, I'll go ahead and get the ball rolling, and then I'll hand it off to whoever wants to go next. Looks like TJ popped up on the video there, so I'll be brief. But my name is James. I am a season 5 autonomy graduate, so I guess I'm part of the most recent class of autonomy grads. And basically, what I've been doing, since I went through the graduation process, is I've been taking everything that I was able to hold on to in terms of knowledge and apply that to my own journey in this world. Those of you that I've spoken with before know that I founded and run a blog called Manufacturing Reality, where I'm basically just kind of going through all the information that's being thrown at us on a daily basis. I'm boiling it down to the stuff that makes the most sense in a 24-hour period, and kind of putting it all together in a daily blog post to help folks out there who may be confused as to what's real, what's not real, and what paths they should be following at this point in history. So I can say that autonomy has definitely helped me grow that platform much more than I would have been able to do on my own in just the last 6 months. I have new people reaching out to me every single day, letting me know, how the things that I'm providing for them, how that's giving value, adding value to their lives, and all that good sort of stuff. And yeah, again, without the curriculum, the ability to basically rewire my brain and institute some new neural pathways and try some things that I may have been a little bit timid about before. Autonomy has definitely helped my growth exponentially. And I'm looking forward to it doing nothing but continuing at this point. Oh, I think you're on mute there, Josh.
It's been great to see your blog pop up in the Grand Theft World community because, man, there's so much going on. And Grand Theft World, does what it can, and it's like 7-8 hours a week, but there's so much more to capture. And it's great to see you coming up to help solidify and archive this information for the future.
Well, thanks, Joshua. I appreciate that, and you're absolutely right. There's even too much for me to try and handle on a day-to-day basis. So we could definitely use some more help with that if anybody's interested.
Definitely, TJ. Good to see you.
What's up, guys?
Great to see you.
All right, I'm out in the woods, so is my camera okay?
Yeah, works.
All right, cool. So yeah, I'm up at the property. As season 5 students would know, I got some property at the beginning of this year in January. So I've been working on that since the graduation. So I just signed the contract and put the down payment for my well. So I'll be getting the well here soon. I'm actually up here this weekend. Amanda and Jackson are with me. I'm about ready to build them like a little playhouse. I don't know if you can see that back there, like got all lumber and stuff. But yeah, this is I built this shed since graduation too behind me for storage of my stuff. And you can see where's my camper. There's my little camper back there I bought in the meantime. So yeah, that's one thing that I've been up to. That's one of the primary things. I got sick as hell, like I was telling Josh the other day. I'm pretty sure got COVID, but that's here nor there. I'm just happy if that's what it was. We got it. It's done. It's over with. Move on with life. Natural immunity is where it's at, right? So so yeah, that's one of the things I've been up to. And as some of you guys know, I was the first student to do the Do It Live podcast last year. And I look forward to you season 6 people to do that. It's awesome to watch people do that. So yeah. But after that, I always wanted to do a podcast, and I really just never had the balls to do it. And that really triggered some complexity for me. So because I got sick, there's just a lot of stuff going on. It got put on the back burner, but I've been working hard on it now. One of the other things Autonomy got me involved in is video editing. So I've pretty much taught myself how to video edit now. I created a whole entire 57-second intro. That's pretty awesome, I think, and an animation and everything like that. LD actually saw it. I sent it to him the other day to get his opinion. He said he really liked it. So I think that's awesome. So Derek Bros is actually coming to Florida and Orlando at the end of October. So Amanda and I talked about that. So we're going to go over there and check that out for the activation tour. So I'm hoping to get some content from there and hopefully start firing off that podcast right either just before that or just after that. So you guys can look forward to that. And that's it's going to be called Disconnection Podcast. It's basically solutions oriented. I'm going to be trying to seek out people that are talking about solutions, working solutions, that type of whole concept. Yeah, and the format's basically going to be kind of start talking about the problem and what inspired the solution, etc. And then, finish the podcast out talking about the solution, and then have that lead back to a website where you can find that information and etc. And maybe create an affiliate network through that too as well. So that's kind of where my head's at now, and that's kind of what I've been working on. I've been kind of quiet in the autonomy community, but I knew this was coming up. So, I popped into the meet and greet real quick. And then I came up here to the property, but you can expect to see Amanda and I at very least in the Q&As on Sundays. Cause that honestly was, that's priceless right there. I love the Sunday Q&As. I just like that community atmosphere and the Q&A in general. Yeah, it's just I get up at 5 a.m. usually on weekdays, so it's hard for me to make it on the Friday night ones. But I always there on Sunday, and I intend to do that in the future. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to getting back involved with the community. But yeah, autonomy in general was a huge kick in the ass, in a lot of ways. Yeah, I mean, me and my family both utilize our times a lot better, our time a lot better in life. I mean, so, and that was one of my big things is like managing my time when I came into autonomy, and it definitely helped me, I mean, learn how to utilize that a lot better. And then the other thing is just preparing. Yeah, I mean, like I really appreciate that stuff. Verstappen thing. That's one of the things I have been paying attention to since graduation. Like one of the courses that I did check out front to back, because I followed his work long before I ever even heard of autonomy. So like I was familiar with it. So I was really excited to see that, and that promo looks really awesome too. So I really like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying to implement that once I'm able to get up here to the property full time. And start working that community atmosphere, or that aspect and stuff. And I look forward to that Orlando event too, because that's like the closest I mean, like-minded thing like that I got going on in Florida, because I mean, a lot of people, me and Amanda work a lot. We don't have a lot of friends and stuff like that. So one of the things that drew us to autonomy. So I'm looking forward to that, especially there's going to be the We Are Change click there too for like at the Orlando thing. So I'm hoping to network there and build some stuff there. And Orlando's actually closer to my property than it is where I live. So that kind of, well, hopefully it'll work itself out. So yeah, just a lot's been going on, but yeah, I mean, there was a good month there, like on and off between Amanda and I. Like we just were like sicker than hell, but we worked through it. We're good, and we got a lot of stuff going on. So it's future's looking bright. It's dark in a lot of ways, but on an individual level, I mean, at least I could say we got stuff I mean, like moving. Yeah, I mean, we're not just sitting around watching and waiting. Yeah, I mean, to see what happens or something. We got stuff going on. Yeah, I mean, we got the property. We've been working on that. We got ideas of expanding. I mean, trying to get out of our jobs and stuff, which has always been a thing. And we're getting closer and closer to there. And Amanda and I actually were talking about some things that hopefully we can touch base with you soon, Josh, is like we kind of briefly talked about on Discord. Great. So yeah, future's looking bright. So that's my input.
Great, man.
So,
and so you bought it.
Guys.
Did you buy an empty property and now you're adding a well and a house? You're building like from scratch?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I bought it in January, it was 5.07 acres, just straight woods. And this is like where I'm at now. I cleared all this out. Yeah, I mean, like I got a long driveway over there. Oh, and I bought a truck, guys, too. Like I had to buy a truck because it's like impossible to, here it is. It's like impossible. I had a little red Chevy Cruze when I bought this thing, and trying to do work on property without a truck is like impossible. So I bought that since I graduated too. So yeah, it was clear land, wooded land. So we cleared out this much of it. I bought that little 1999 $3,000 camper just so I have something to stay in when I come up here and work on it and stuff. And then yeah, so last week I signed the contract to get my well put in and put the 50% down payment, and I'll have to pay the other 3% when it's done. And then the next step will be getting the septic in. And then I'm just going to get an RV permit to build on and just take that as, I mean, you're supposed to get more if you want it, but I'm just going to run with that until they say something. And if they say something, I'll worry about it then. But other than that, I got another buddy of mine up here, and that's why I came up to this Live Oak area, is he's doing the same thing, and he's actually building a cabin right now on an RV permit. So I'm just going to run with it for now anyway. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm sure something will happen to him before it happens to me, so I'll know ahead of time. But yeah, so that was my game. Like when basically towards the end of 2020, like October, November, I was like, man, shit's gonna go down, right? Like, so I was like at some point, I mean, I can't just sit around and like not do anything anymore. Yeah, I gotta do something, you know what I mean? So I just talked to Amanda about, I mean, I had a buddy, like I said a moment ago, like he moved up, or like he bought 10 acres up here. He's like, oh, you got to come up here. And he works at a local building supply place. And he's like, oh, I can help you out with equipment and stuff like that. So with equipment rental and all that crap. You know, so actually I'm renting a Bobcat, actually, not this coming up weekend, but the following weekend to do some more clearing and some other work around here. And then, yeah, I mean, hopefully I'll be good on that for at least the interim. But yeah, so I came up here and I looked at probably 50 to 60 properties. Yeah, I mean, most of it online, and I kind of seen a couple, or looked at a couple, and then the one I actually bought, I actually never even stepped foot on it. I paid for it cash. I got like $3,500 off it. I spent like just under $5,000 an acre. And I just paid cash. It was mine. And then I showed up here. The first time I ever saw it is when I walked onto it. My buddy was like, I can't believe you bought something you never even saw before. I was like, it was in a good spot, man. And I also looked at the fact that it was there's no restrictions, right? So like there's a lot of property around here that are in like subdivisions and they have a lot of restrictions. This is an A1 no restriction property. So I can I can basically build and grow whatever the hell I want.
Nice.
So,
That's
yeah.
a solid pandemic pivot you just did.
Yeah, I like to. So it's a work in progress, but yeah, for sure.
Well, great, TJ. Yeah, awesome to hear from you. Glad you're back back in autonomy. I'm excited to see you build that place.
For sure, man. Definitely. You guys
All right.
take it easy, all right?
Yeah, we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.
Who else wants to share? We probably got about 10 more minutes if you want to catch us up on what you've been doing in between seasons.
I'd like to share really quick. I'll make it really quick here. Something that TJ just said. So if you're looking for land or a place to bug out to, take a really good look at the zoning. He mentioned A1, that's A's for agriculture. And so at the very worst, you can put a farm on it. Not necessarily buildings, but you can finagle that. So it's probably the easiest land to get into, and it's probably the most cost effective. And so if you're looking for land out in the boonies somewhere, just make sure it's A1. Everything after that, there's different strategies for that. So that kind of leads into something I got some partners that just invested into a ranch in northern New Mexico. So that's a deal in progress. And so it's 19 acres. There's room for RV hookups. It's near the Taos ski lodge and all that good stuff. But the purpose for my part in the partnership is, once we get the land, we're growing food, and how to store it, how seed saving. I'll be able to run workshops from there. So that's ongoing. I'm looking at some stuff in Mexico right now. So people are like, well, which one are you going to stay in, New Mexico or Old Mexico? It's like, what the hell? What's the difference, really? You know. But so it's been an active off season for me, and for this season, I'm looking to do some more workshops. Got a couple new volunteers that are going to take some of the pressure off of me, and exciting times.
Awesome. That's great to hear, Danny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got lots going on, and
and I'll turn the camera really quick. Just kind of give you a preview of what I'm actually preparing for a science fair, and so that's next week's deal. But let me see if I can get the camera. Who knows what that is?
The Brussels sprouts?
Pretty close. Sort of. That is actually, anybody else want to take a guess at that?
No, I'm stumped. I give up.
Okay. That is romaine lettuce.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Bolting?
And so the reason I show this, and I'll show this to the science fair people, is in aquaponics, if you don't harvest the plant, it goes through a metamorphosis. And so it goes to, you pull the seeds from it. So this plant, even though it was romaine lettuce, just kept growing. So it's about 5.5 feet tall, but it develops the seeds. And so one plant, it's probably about 200 seeds on it. And so this, you don't have to do it in aquaponics, but when you're growing your food supply, always let one go to seed. It's critical, because then you're able to pull those seeds off it, and you're always going to have a great ratio. You save those seeds because it grew in whatever environment you put it into. So in this case, I'm using a lettuce raft that's 36:1 on the ratio. But no matter what you do or what you're planning, always let one go to seed. It's critical, because they're cutting our food supply off, and they're not going to replace seeds. So you got to create your own seed supply. So that's my tip of the day.
You probably need a presentation on that.
Oh yeah, no, and so we're gonna start doing some No, you know what? I got really inspired by going to Pork Fest, and it's either shit or get off the pot. So you're gonna see some presentations this season. I shit you not.
Nice. I'm going to hold you to that, Danny. I'm
Oh
looking
yeah,
forward to it.
no, hold me accountable. No, we're gonna put some stuff together, and it's gonna be done with some excellence. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, it's time.
Well, excellent. Anybody else want to catch us up on what they've been doing in between the seasons? And then we're going to wrap this puppy up. Next week, James is going to be hosting the podcast, and we'll get back into kind of our traditional format of recapping the week, as there's so much going on inside the autonomy community, guest lectures, presentations, that we just can't catch it all. And so we kind of recap each week in this Do It Live podcast to showcase everyone's growth and development, as well as get the sneak peeks behind what's going on in the community. Agnieszka?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, we just wanted to say hello from the Acapulco contingent. It's very nice and warm and sunny, as it is every day.
And there's a lot of things to offer, because there's all kinds of good stuff coming our way. I mean, obviously the ethical emergence PDF and what that represents is one thing, but certainly, like Agnieszka is going to be doing the copywriting clinic again, and to me that is, it was. I mean, I went through the lecture I think twice before they started the clinic, but it was really when they started the clinic that I really embraced the copywriting, and how valuable it is to everybody.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah, so that's just one example, but there's a lot of things coming, and in being able to interact with each other, in person, we really do get the opportunity to express to each other like what you bring to the table, and practice autonomy, through helping each other. And so that's going to be coming out as well. And I certainly think like what Danny's doing, I'm going to encourage him to come down to Acapulco for sure, at least during the spring season when all the anarchists and voluntaries are down here, and kind of create that atmosphere south of the border that you guys experienced at the Pork Fest.
And for me, in the spirit of sustainability, I've been working on some ferments and some vinegars and stuff, so I could teach a class on that as well, which is definitely valuable for preserving foods and creating probiotic-rich additives to our food. Just like out of left field, just like that.
Bring it. All right. We'll keep developing that place, making it a nice, warm, welcoming community down there so that other people can come visit, including myself.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Well, we're glad to see.
Peaceful village we can find.
We're glad to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in for today's podcast. We're going to wrap this puppy up. I got DMs blowing me up. If anything piqued your interest of what you saw today, check out the links down below. I'll be posting Stefan Verstappen's course in here, as well as some of the other things that we covered. But if you like what you see in here, you should come check out the community. This is really a priceless environment. So once you join, you have lifetime access. The caliber of people inside of Autonomy is incredible. The content just keeps getting better and better. The lectures each season just gets more refined. Richard gets more succinct in telling it, as well as always telling it in a different and unique way. So I'm excited to see what season 6 comes up with, and the amount of growth that everyone achieves, as well as we're just building and building and building these structures to be able to operate and find autonomy in ourselves in this world that is in chaos. But I'm excited to have a community to do that with.
Real quick, Joshua.
Yo.
If I can jump in, if anyone is chomping at the bit to fulfill the role of co-host next week, go ahead and shoot me a message in the Discord. I'll just throw that offer out there, and it'll be first come, first serve.
Awesome. And anyone, any graduates or newcomers wanting to take a stab at hosting your first podcast. Like I said, there's great structure. You're in a safe environment. You got a lot of support from your fellow students. And it's just a great way to learn some new skills and to be able to put yourself out there. Tune in next week. We're going to be doing it at the same time, and we'll be covering everything awesome that happens inside of the week. Next week's going to be lecture 2. Everybody has their work to do. See you inside the dojos. Make sure to smash that like button down below and download that new PDF we just released on autonomyunlimited.com. We'll check you next week, and everybody else, see you inside the community.